immediately call to give you the tea every time anything happens.
Hi, everybody.
You're
It's
like,
Bridget and Lauren, and we're here to tell you the tea because we're not going to tell
we're
you
here to
the
tell you
tea.
the tea.
We can't.
I am here to tell you tea while I drink tea.
I'm drinking tea too.
Bro! In our fun cups.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, one thing you should know about Bridget, it's the one rule I know about Bridget, is if Bridget doesn't have a cup of her own that she has brought with her, she is having a stressed out, not good time. She gets a lot of comfort from her cups,
My
and she will
cups.
never throw them away.
I love that you know this, and it's because
I do.
you've seen it, but then also you had to help me move, and you're like,
I
oh,
get it. I get it. But also, I feel like you passed it to me because now I have several of these cups that I love. And
here
anytime
you
I see a
have
cup that I love, I'm
comforting.
like, I need a cup. And I call them my cup, and we'll just test to know which cup I'm talking about.
You grab
Like
my cup.
I'm like, hey, could you get me water, but can you put it in my cup?
Like,
In my cup?
let me show you.
It's my special cup.
I don't know if people can see my A24 basketball shorts, my comfy
They're
pants.
good.
McKenzie pants. This is my water cup. It lights up to tell me, come on. It lights up to tell me to drink more water. But this, it's got my comfort keychain. Like it hooks onto everything. Like this, when I need water, this is it. And
She
then these
got
are
it.
my other cups. They have the other things, not
They're fun
water.
drink cups.
Yeah.
No,
If I
it's
don't
fun
have like
cups.
4 drinks, one for caffeination, one for funsies because it tastes good, and then
I'm
hydration,
literally
we're
the
not
same
good.
way. I can't reach my water because it's too far away from me right now, and I'm recording on my couch because I'm hiding from the cockroach in my bathroom that may or may not be dead. We don't know.
Well, I accidentally like drank all my water before this started, so now I'm sitting here like I
Oh
have to
no, you
pee.
only have tea. What do you need to pee? Do you gotta
No,
go?
not
Okay,
yet. But I feel the
cool.
tight tummy, so it will be eventually.
Freaking A. Oh, also, I'm sorry for my general sound. You're going to have to deal with it. I have a really horrible sinus infection. I've been like throwing up mucus and bleeding from my nostrils all day.
Yay, allergies! I bet it's because of this rain. Our bodies aren't used to it
It
anymore.
is, I'm really bad with mold. I live in an old
Me
house.
too.
Anytime it pours,
Mm.
my house just goes crazy.
You also don't have like a ceiling in your bathroom.
Oh, they fixed it. I have a ceiling now. So that's
Hey.
cool. But I'm pretty sure it stirred up a lot of other stuff.
I bet.
So we're just struggling a little bit. But I took a Benadryl like probably
So
10
if
minutes
Lauren
before I
passes
got
out
on.
in the middle of this episode, just let
I
her.
should be good. I can
You're
stay
gonna
up
be
on Benadryl for a couple
funny.
hours, but I
Oh,
will be a little punchy.
not me. I
I'm also working on one of Bridget's birthday gifts. So if I am looking
You
down,
completely disappeared when you did.
ah,
Oh, it was just a hand for a second. That is absolutely terrifying. I don't like
I
this.
love this. Wait. Oh.
And they don't come back.
Surprise!
Oh my god, this is the dumbest game, and we just are so entertained by it.
That snort was violent because of all the mucus.
It's so deep.
I
Let's
can't
see.
help it. There's a reason I chose the pig whenever we played D&D.
Warthog, you're a warthog, let's be clear.
Oh, bro,
Well,
I cannot
she
tell
was
you.
a
I've been
young
going
warthog.
so hard to finish your birthday gift, and I still have to do all of those D&D stuff. I'm just gonna do pre-made characters for everyone because Data, Shade, and Will have never played. Well, Data played, but like once. I'm
Man.
just I got a lot of stuff that I need to do before the 25th.
Do you want me to help you find a one shot and get all that organized? I'll make my brother do
That
it.
would be phenomenal.
He's got a few one shots. I'll just have Daniel pull that up and we can like print out and cut out characters.
That would be so dope. Because I still need to do food. I'm probably gonna make a charcuterie board. I can't say it like this. Charcuterie.
Oh no.
Don't charcuterie
I
board.
caught myself like mouthing with you to like encourage you to make the noise like sure.
You're the best stage mom ever. I would always know
You're
the
doing great,
dance.
sweetie. The Amy Poehler with the
Yes.
camera.
Thank you for understanding exactly what that movement was.
It's
Oh
beautiful.
my goodness.
Yeah, I'll help. And we should just get like a rotisserie chicken and plate it so it
Uh,
looks more like midi. My mom thought that was the coolest thing because my mom's like my best friend. And I'm like, Mom, guess what's happening in my life right now? And I stayed like at their house for a week because my brother was in town.
I was gonna say the last time I talked to you, you were back at home.
Yep.
Home. Home.
Home. Home.
Home.
You're back at home
Home.
with a B. Apparently.
Home.
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 Poor Lauren. Yes,
I'm
my brother
sorry.
was in town for a while. Now he's back and he'll come back for our birthday because we share a birthday.
Do you hate that or do you like that?
It's good. It's never bothered us because we're 9 years apart. It maybe
Oh
bothered me in
yeah.
high school, but not really.
I would be bothered, but both my brothers suck. Daniel's pretty okay.
He's legit. He's pretty legit. That's what happens when you're like 9 years apart and you can help like morph your brother into
Well,
you.
me and Ian were 7 years apart,
Oh,
and
that's right.
I love him, but he's the most frustrating little human. I guess giant human because he's 6'2", so he's not exactly little
Daniel's the same.
anymore.
He's not small. I don't know how tall he is. It's very tall though.
But
Taller than my dad.
he's a frustrating SOB.
See, I think I threatened my brother into the fact that we would always have open communication no matter what. And I was like, you're in jail, you call me. So we set that grounds from an early age, and we know.
Well, my older brother's got no trouble with that. He's done it 5 times. But Ian is, I don't know. I think he doesn't want to bother me because he sees the burden that my older brother has placed upon me.
He
Which,
moves out because
when
he
you
feels
think
so
about it,
anxious and leaves a note.
is very sweet. But also, like, we
Don't
gotta
do that.
fix that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet Ian.
I'm dying.
I know you are. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Poor Lauren.
Everything's great. We just can't catch a break, man.
Nah, dog,
I'm
we
sick,
just
you're
take
sick,
turns.
I'm sick, you're sick.
It was
Cheese
you
and
had
rice.
COVID, and then I had a sinus. Well, I had a medical
Ah.
issue, and then
Yeah, no, you were like
you
dying.
you got sick, and
I
then
was
I
about
got
to kill your
COVID.
doctor.
My mom was about to kill my doctor. That was a scary
Yeah.
moment.
I think that telehealth nurse was about to kill your doctor too.
That guy was like, "You're gonna lead to sepsis," and I was like, "What do I do?" And he's like, "Stop taking it and just lay still." Okay.
Lay still.
Like, it was the worst. I mean, if you've ever felt, I mean, I guess every like pregnant lady is like this, but if you ever just felt bloated and you couldn't get rid of it, gosh, it was the most
That's what pregnancy is,
frustrating
huh?
thing. Yeah, I assume my lack of pregnancy knowledge been there for
I'll
a lot
never
of
know.
friends, but
I'm cool with that. I will never know, and I never want to know.
you
Thank
know,
you,
I found out
everybody.
I have a cool doctor though. It's my PT doctor, even though she
Ooh,
hurts
you're
me.
cool, doctor. She
She
hurt you
cool.
with love.
Yeah, I tell her multiple times I want to hit her when she's hurting me, and she goes, "Yeah, that's normal." She's legit. Like, man, we were talking about. Oh no, I lost it.
Oh no.
So,
What did
y'all,
you
brain
lose?
fog is so freaking real. Like, the amount of times I go somewhere and never buy what I need, or I walk to a section of my 600 square foot apartment that's one bedroom, like, and I'll just stand there and be like, why am I in here? Like, I walk 2 feet. But, I don't know. She's cool. I
2
forgot
feet
why.
is enough.
I forgot the story I was going to tell
She
you.
was cool.
But she's cool. I
Yeah,
like
we're
her.
talking. Y'all talked about stuff. We were talking about pregnancy. Does that help?
Oh, yeah. But she was like, I said something. We were ranting about Roe versus Wade and the stupidity that it was that they overturned it. And then I was like, and I got a tilted uterus, and they don't even give us pain meds for pap smears. And she's like, I have a tilted uterus too. And so we bonded over
Me
it while
too.
like making me stress. I brought you up. I was like, my best friend's got a tilted uterus. She's like, yeah.
Bruh. So I have to go get my first PAP in like 3 years.
Oh, you're
The
not supposed to
day
skip that long. You're
I didn't have
sexually active.
insurance.
Oh,
I
good
didn't
point.
have insurance, and life is expensive. See how I caught that? That was good.
That was good.
Everyone knew what I was gonna say,
Like,
but I didn't say it,
you
and
just
I'm
went
really
Jewish and
proud.
was like, Schleif.
Um, what
That's
was
fair.
I saying? Oh, so I'm getting my first PAP in 3 years, the day of
Ugh.
the My Chemical Romance concert. So
Oh,
I'm waking up at 9,
bro.
getting my PAP, and then getting in a car for 4 hours.
At least you're gonna be sitting, but
That's
put a
true. And I
put an
won't be
ice pack
driving.
under you. Ow.
Only there's four of us going. If Dana sits in the back with me, I can put my feet on her. She won't though because she'll get car sick. I'm gonna be in the back with Lizzie. I bet Lizzie would let me put my feet on her.
Just tell her your vagina hurts. It's every
She'll.
every female should know. Like,
Have you met Lizzie from
no.
Evo?
Uh-uh.
Huh. You would love her. Number one, she's like the sweetest girl in the entire world. Um.
Everybody you've introduced me to from your friend group, I've ended up loving.
Oh yeah, because I only introduced you to the good ones.
Wait, there is one, but that was through work, though. It's fine.
Who?
Okay, I'm not gonna say on this.
I want to know.
We'll talk afterwards when we
Text
three-way
this to me.
call Rachel.
Text it to me right now.
No,
Please.
no, and you
I'm
introduced
dying.
me to Michelle.
I love Michelle.
Me too.
She's like the sweetest person that ever existed in this
And
universe.
her and Sam are number one fans. Maybe only
Yeah.
fans, but not only fans. Unless you
Oh,
pay
we
us.
got Mason.
We might.
Oh, also, I ruined our Coke reaction for Mason because it was a Monday. It was a Monday,
It's
and we were talking to someone, and they were like, "Oh, I haven't tried this," and I was like, "Oh, it's really good." And he looked at me like I had killed his child. He was like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, "The episode's been out for 2 days, Mason.
yeah.
2 days."
I
And
finally saw
he was
people
so
posting
sad.
about it online. So it's nothing like what we said the flavor was. So, but it was
What
like
is the flavor?
it's orangey, and I was like, it was coconutty.
I still think it's tropical. I
Yeah,
still think it's
but
tropical.
the last nobody knows it officially. No, but I saw someone post today. It was one of
I
the
need
Disney
Coke to
bloggers
come
I
out with
follow.
it. It's making me mad.
Well, Coke won't come out with it. I looked at their official PR release. It was tastes like existentialism, and I was like, all right,
Well, you know
true.
what, Coke? You're messing up.
Lauren, those are not real sponsors.
I was gonna say we don't have sponsors. No
Mason,
one cares
it's a
about us but
sponsorship.
us. He did buy us that Coke.
That is true. That is my brother was like, "Are you trying to get Coke as your sponsor?" I go, "Daniel, we have 4 listeners."
Wouldn't that be amazing though if Coke
Gosh,
was
it
our
would be.
sponsor?
He was like, "Dream big, kid." I was like, thanks.
Yeah, well, we do it for fun. Will asked me the other day, he's like, "So how long are y'all gonna keep doing this?" And I was like, "As long as I want." How dare you ask
We're
me
making
that?
it work. Well, we might skip Fantastic Fest week because that's rough, but we'll
Well,
see.
that would be absolutely evil.
It'd be kind of cool if we just
We're
recorded it in the highball by ourselves at 4 a.m.
maybe that's how we get fans. It's just everyone working
Hey!
at Draft House.
Hey, next trip, since I'm running it, I'll just be like, yeah, this cool like podcast is gonna record in highball. They have
And then
4
everyone will be
followers.
like, "Oh my god, what kind of podcast?" And we'll be
It's
like, "Do
like
y'all love Ouran High School Host Club?" But look, it'll be the week that we roll Devilman Crybaby.
oh Jesus. And like Leonard Maltin's recording his podcast there this year, so I'm like, you go from Leonard Maltin to us, like, all right, whatever, it's
It
fine.
would be great. I'll do a set before we go on my
You're-
new stand-up show. I don't know
Ooh,
what it's called.
life.
Life.
Oh, but it's because our lives are a joke. Anyway, so a challenge from
You never
Lobelia.
texted me who you don't like
I'm
on this
not
set.
gonna do it while we're recording.
It's a name. It'll take 2 seconds.
Benadryl. I cannot change your
That's
mind state.
exactly why I need to
Oh,
know.
oh. All
You're
right, here we
evil.
go. Lauren, read that Netflix summary.
Oh, wait, I scrolled down too far because I was looking at you. I was looking at you upset and I
I
forgot that I
know.
scrolled
I
down too
know.
far.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
Are you?
Uh, kind of. Not like a lot, but like
A
enough.
twinge of it.
Enough of it, I guess.
Enough of it.
Shut up. I'll fight you. A challenge from Lobelia. This is gonna be awful. Lobelia
Lobelia.
Girls Academy. Here is your Netflix summary. The Zuka Club drops by to check out the hosts and isn't impressed. In fact, Zuka has every intention of stealing Haruki away from the boys. That's it.
Lobelia.
Shut up. You say that. Plug your nose and say it.
Lobelia. It's
Lobelia.
different when there's not mucus in the back of my sinus. All right, here we go. I'm trying this new thing where I just watch the episode and I'm pulling from the wiki the summary.
I love that for you because then you could get so much more immersed in it.
That's what I'm trying to do because I'm being too analytical and I'm not
Are you enjoying it more?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't take me as long either because I'm not pausing every 5 seconds to type a freaking paragraph. So we'll see if
I do that too. I only write down voices I need to look up and then I go back and do my notes on everything.
I wrote one other extra note.
Oh, I also didn't write any fun facts. I just did voice actors and enjoyed myself because I'm sick. And also I love this show, so who cares about
you know
all
what?
Of the fun facts?
That Ouran High School Host Club wiki has fun facts on it.
Oh snap! So Bridget, your fun fact.
Pull it up. we're gonna take a cheater. Whoop. Jeez, what'd you do?
Hold on, I'm gonna mute myself real quick so I can blow my.
Here we go. All right, so we start this episode in this common area where Haruhi's seen chatting with 2 girls. They're saying that there's this upcoming culture exposition thing that's held each year where neighboring schools perform music and drama for the benefit of Ouran's students. So basically, it's a Triwizard tournament.
Yeah, but with theater.
And here comes Bo Buttons. So the twins are
Don't you hate their twirling? Their twirling is so annoying.
It's so bad.
I kind of hate the Lobelia. I kind of hate the Lobelia Girls Academy. I don't know why. There's no reason to hate them. But
maybe you're threatened by them.
Maybe I am threatened by them.
I think you're threatened by them.
Maybe I see their open woman love and I'm like, wow, I wish I had that in high school. Like I didn't go watch Jennifer's Body and go to my best friend's house and be like, hey, you want to try out Jennifer's Body? She was like, sure.
What does lobelia mean?
That's really solid.
Oh, it's a flower. A chiefly tropical or subtropical plant of the bellflower family. In particular, an annual widely grown as bedding plant. Some kinds are aquatic, some grow as thick-trunked shrubs or trees on African mountains. What does lobelia symbolize? Depending on the culture and where you live. Some culture, they symbolize love. Oh, well, others associate them with good luck or prosperity. Symbolize love or friendship. Okay, well, that makes sense. Here we go.
This is acceptable.
Lobelia! I love that they kept singing that because
Lobelia.
I kept singing it.
Lobelia. When I sing it, I can say it. Lobelia.
No, it's because you don't sing with your nose. You're not supposed to. You're trained.
I know. I sing with.
Yeah, that's
if y'all never doubted me for being an opera singer. Now
never
you know.
doubted me. That's what that sounded like. Y'all never doubted me.
You never doubted me.
You sounded like in The Hobbit when she's doing like the chant to unpoison him in Elvish. He's like, I started doing Wicked on accident, and I was like, "What a theater!" I was like, "Whoops!" All right. Anyway, so the twins are overheard chastising Renge for not knowing about instant coffee, which was really funny. And she's like, "Oh, so it's just ground?" And they're like, "No, it's different. You just add water, and it's kind of watered down tasting, but We love
And
it.
there's absolutely no robustness. That is a direct quote. Like, it's watered down and it's not very good, and there's no
And
robustness.
we love it.
But
So
as
then
our manager, you have to drink it.
yeah, they were like, it's the official Ouran High School host club drink. And I was like, it's gonna be instant coffee. And sure enough, it was instant coffee.
Cool.
So they said they realized they're all out, so they go, Haruhi, you have to go get it because we don't know where we get commoners coffee from. It was funny.
So
As she's going
stupid.
out, two girls follow her to thank her for helping the twins come out of their shells. It's a really sweet moment, and they talk
It's
about how they
very
were like
sweet.
shy and they don't talk, and now they're like super out.
Also, I am such a sucker for little baby twins and their horrible bowl haircuts. I love
I
it.
know, I was like,
I
oh
think
my
it's
gosh.
so cute. And I'm just like, oh, there's your little bowl cuts.
But they
Boys.
were middle school in that flashback, so it
It
makes
was
sense.
so cute. I love it.
So
I
as
love it.
Haruhi returns from shopping with bag full of instant coffee, this is my favorite trope. And out of nowhere, Abe appears to drop a banana peel on the sidewalk, which Haruhi slips on. So she falls into the arms of a very tall girl who's wearing a different school uniform. And much to Haruhi's surprise, this person recognizes that Haruhi is a girl. And when she said that, she was like, "Oh, lady," and I was like,
How did you know?
I know. I was like, it's
Because
so
lesbians know women when they see them, which I also love. They're just like, oh, they're kind of gay. They probably know.
her
Like, that's the only
radar was
reason for
on
it.
track. She was like, a bi girl. And I
Well,
was
no, I think our Haruhi is ace AF. Like, I really do. I want she's just super ace.
don't say
And she
that.
likes romantic.
But I
She's
want
a
her to be with
romantic ace.
Tamaki. Stop it.
Well, Tamaki's bi. You can be ace and still be into people, just not in that same way.
But I want it to
We'll
be
have
in
data
that
on
way.
it so she can talk
But I
about it.
want it to be romantic, Lauren.
Well, you could have romantic love for someone and still be asexual. It's a thing. There are like different tiers of asexuality.
I need to
And
look
you can
this
still
up.
have sexual relationships as an asexual. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. Welcome to queer.
I'm typing in definition of asexual.
My other best friend, who is not Bridget, is an asexual. She educates me on this constantly.
Lack of sexual attraction to others, lower absent interest in sexual activity.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
not
like,
asexual.
you could still be into that and
May be
still not
considered a
be at the
sexual
same
orientation or
time.
the lack thereof. May be categorized more widely to include a broad spectrum of asexual sub-identities.
Yeah. I don't remember what the exact term I'm looking for Haruhi is, but I'll ask Data and she'll tell me and I'll get back to you. Are you just going down the ace rabbit hole right now?
It was giving me characters, and they're all fictional characters, and it was Lord Varys from Game of Thrones, the bald guy who's like a monk. I think he's a Munich.
He is a
Um,
Munich.
it's like what a horrible example.
Yeah, that's not a
He's
good one.
asexual because he doesn't have
I
reproductive
love
parts. Anyway, what
Sorry.
your laugh snorts are great. Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm dying.
I'm sorry, I'm dying. That's the I'm sorry, I'm dying. I love this
I'm
episode.
sorry, I'm dying. Is that the name of the episode?
All right. Scene skip. I guess I don't need to read
Yeah.
this.
Scene skip. Yeah.
Because whoever wrote this like a theater script.
Love
So
that.
we're in music room 3 where the other girls are now entering to discover the host performing Arthurian cosplay as medieval knights, which I love that they're like, we always do cosplay. That's in a later episode. But despite their negative comments about the club and men in general, and I was like, but they're not wrong. Tamaki remains courteous until the tall girl reappears with Haruhi by her side and says she's in love with Haruhi. And Tamaki is like, get your hands off my Haruhi, and it's beautiful.
Because
But
he's her father.
we'll get there, and we'll get there, and then she uppercuts him, and he falls back crying, and he's like, she hit me. It was beautiful. I love Tamaki, but it was beautiful because I'm always down for men getting hit. So Kyoya recognizes that the uniforms and confirms that whoever wrote this is like brutal. They wrote these 3 interlopers.
Interlopers? Tamaki wrote it. Tamaki wrote it.
Tamaki wrote it.
I'm sorry, my nose is starting to bleed, so I shoved the paper towel up there. So please forgive me.
Nobody look at Lauren.
No one look at me. It's fine. You know what? You can look at me. This is what a real person looks like.
Look at me. Do look at me. Look at me. Don't. What is that from? I don't remember. Anyway.
What is that from?
So he recognizes they're from Lobelia. Maidens, which is the word they love to use, which made me laugh. The maidens are suddenly seen in flashy costumes, announcing that they're the leaders of the Lily White League, aka the Zuka Club. You have Binio.
The Zuka Club is like the female version of
a host club?
No, it's of kabuki theater, which back in the day of like 1644 or whatever, in Japanese theater, just like in a lot of theater, they only used male actors. So
it's an all-female musical theater troupe
yeah,
that was formed in the early 19th century, performing the extravaganza of Western musicals.
It
acted as a female counterpart to kabuki.
There you go.
And then it says a lot of things in Japanese, but in characters that I cannot read.
Exactly.
That's
yeah,
nice
so that's a fact. That's a fun fact.
There you go.
Ta-da.
So, your 3 people you meet are Binio, aka Binibara. That's her full name. Amakusa.
You said that very well.
Thank you. And now you've cursed me.
Sorry.
Chizuru, or her real name is Suzuran, Maihara, and Hinako, which her real name was Hinagiku Suwabaki.
Not bad.
We do that every week.
I do. Don't you feel bad for me now?
Yes, I always do. So the hosts are all flabbergasted, except for the twins, who find them hysterically funny. Renge appears on her motorized cake platform, per usual, with her maniacal laugh, which I love. Also, is she the little love girl from My Hero? With the magic man, whatever, like in the season finale of that one season.
This came out like way before My Hero. Oh, Renge?
Yeah. Is she the voice actor of her? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the
I don't know. Let me look.
They sound a lot alike. Okay, you look at that.
I'll look it up. You keep going.
Okay. So, Renge appears and says she's always been fascinated by girls' schools, but she'll never go there because there's no men. But she likes that the Zuka Club is a society for strong young maidens who consider themselves superior to men in every way. I love this quote, as mysteriously as she arrives, she departs. I
think I'm bloodless now. Continue.
Oh gosh. So the Zuka Club share what they consider to be their insights on the specialness, leaving the hosts cold. So basically they're open about their homosexuality, and that's cool. I like that. And Binio is unfazed and proclaimed that Tamaki is to be a pretty little heifer, who shouldn't use his looks to create a fictitious romance just to demean Haruhi, who is clearly confounded by their allegations. And I laughed that sweet honey went, he is a heifer. He's half French, half Japanese. Not meaning like bi. And it was funny. Okay. So, Lauren didn't laugh at all, so I had to laugh for me.
I'm sorry, I'm still looking up La Brava.
La Brava! There it is.
Bad. I'm sorry. I'm here, I swear. I just it's the Benadryl.
Looking at me, and I'm like, all right.
Oh, she does play Anya in Spy Family. La Brava. Sorry, I
Oh,
thought that was fun. And Sasha Bronze.
Sasha Bronze, who?
Hold on. Megan Shipman. Let's see.
I don't know who
Host Club
those
came
people
out
are.
in 2008. I need to scroll way to the bottom of this.
Yeah, you do.
Ooh. She doesn't have any credits before 2011, so
Well, she sounds
I'm
like
gonna
the
say
girl who
no.
plays La Brava.
I am sorry.
Anyway, the trio declares that they will abolish the host club, at which point Kyoya points out that Tamaki is bedridden with shock. And Honey goes, it's his nappy time. And they're like, wake him up. So Haruhi offers some freshly brewed instant coffee to mitigate the tension, but Tamaki is rushes the Lobelia maidens and refutes their challenge, not refuses, refutes. So the Lobelia
And he
maidens
sticks his finger in their coffee on accident.
oh, yeah,
and then Honey
burns
has to
it.
blow it out. Honey is the sweetest person in the entire world.
Yes, unless Honey has cavities and can't have sweets.
I've also decided that Haruhi, the only person that Haruhi does not find annoying at all in the host club is Honey. Because if she's ever alone with Honey, Honey,
with Honey,
shut up, with Honey, like she's not annoyed by any of his suggestions ever.
I don't know. I think she really likes Mori.
But like they're like the only two she doesn't get annoyed by.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like if it was just a show about the three of them being friends,
it'd be boring because
it'd be so boring. They'd just be friends.
I mean, like, where's the drama?
There was no drama.
So they'd slip on a banana. That would be the drama.
Also, Renge is responsible for all of the bananas in this show. It's never like said that they show her with bananas in this episode. Yeah, like she comes up out of her thing and she's eating bananas. So anytime you see a banana that someone slips on, it is from her. She set it up.
That's funny.
To cause drama. So just know that.
That makes
from
sense.
behind the scenes.
Because it's always a banana that causes it.
Yeah.
That means Renge broke into Haruhi's house.
Yes.
I like it.
Do not doubt her.
So Haruhi goes on to defend the host club, but it's revealed that they actually auctioned personal host items to help raise funds. And they stole Haruhi's, they didn't technically steal, it was on the ground. Mechanical pencil and sold it. I love that the twins are like, it was on the ground, it's for anyone's taking. She's like, I liked that pencil. And I absolutely understand that, because if someone took my blue Sharpie pen that is so smooth at writing, I'd be really mad. So she's mad, she leaves, and she goes, I've got thinking to do. Thinking like maybe she's gonna leave the club. So Tamaki speculates on what Haruki's preferences are and admits that she might be better suited to Lobelia's social climate. But the host club refuses to give up on her, and they create a secret plan, because of course they do. So the following day, the Zuka Club returns because they're going to take Haruhi by force. So they say. So when they open the door,
which is kind of messed up. Like no one even asked her.
I know. Which is
like you can't just do transfer papers for a person.
Yeah, you can if you're rich.
It's illegal. Well,
if you're rich, Lauren.
Yeah, well,
our president.
You don't know that yet about Tamaki because it's the next.
Stop.
Never mind. I take it back.
Okay, so they go. The next day, the Lobelia girls show up, and they're surprised because all of a sudden the door opens, and all of the host club boys are dressed as girls. And they said, if you stay at Ouran, you will have brothers, but you'll also have sisters, because we can do both too. And it was
except for Mori. Yeah. They refused to make Mori a girl, and I think that is so funny.
It makes sense, because Mori's just like, okay.
He was too manly.
He is too manly.
He had too many refreshment points, which you also don't know until next week.
I'm gonna murder you if you keep telling me things about next week. I'm just gonna plug your mouth, because then you can't breathe, because I don't even have to bother plugging your nose.
Die. But then you'll never get this awesome birthday present I'm making you.
Lauren, All right. So, uh, so the Zuka Club was like, this is insulting, this is stupid. But then all of a sudden, this cackling and laughing happens, and Haruhi is finding this hilarious. She says she's got to turn down the Zuka Club, saying she came to Ouran just to study and take her schooling seriously, and she never actually considered leaving because of that. She only got angry at the boys for taking her pencil without asking his consent. Defeated but not out, the Zuka Club says they will come back yet again one day to destroy the host club and take Haruhi. As they leave, they all trip over banana peels. And wow, that is the ending of that episode.
Does knowing Ringe leaves the banana peels make it better?
Yeah. She's like, and this is a sad defeat. All right, bananas.
There's several more banana peels to come. All right, I'm gonna try to say these names. Everyone shut up. I don't want to hear nothing from the three of you that listen telling me that I sound bad. I know you won't because you're all very nice, but I want to hear it.
I'll say it. I'll say it out loud.
Yeah. Sorry. Out loud. All right, so our first lady is Mayhara, and her English voice actor is Jamie Barchi. She plays Anne in Ranking of Kings, Mount Lady in My Hero Academia, Motako, sorry, Minigawa in Fruits Baskets 2019, and Yo Matsuoka in Free. And the Japanese voice actor is Miho Yamada, and she plays Karin in the Capcom fighting games. I don't know if you ever played those. They used to be in like every arcade ever. I don't know if they're actually like
Capcom fighting games, like not like Street Fighter.
No, like Capcom. Like Capcom versus the Marvel Universe. They always do like versus stuff now.
Oh, okay. But I probably know what those are.
Is what came before Street Fighter, if that makes sense. Okay, and then we've got Hinako, or Lady Hinagiku. Her English voice actor is Brittany Karabowski. She plays Waka in Given, Sayori in Tribe 9, and Marina in The Case Study of Vanishes. And then the Japanese voice actor is Yuko Sasimoto in Van Nothing. So, oops. And then we have Lady Binibara. Her English voice actor is Stephanie Young. She plays Sylvia Sherwood in Spy Family, Nico Robin in One Piece, Madoka Oza and Fire Force, Nana Shubaru in My Hero Academia, and your favorite girl. Your almost favorite girl. I take that back. Caitlin Glass is your favorite girl.
Mm-hmm.
Same show.
Is it Riza?
Hawkeye? No, it's Lady Olivier Armstrong in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Lady Major Mr. Armstrong.
Yes, Sir Olivier Armstrong. Japanese voice actor is Misuki Sega. She plays Kagura in Azumanga Daioh, which was like one of my favorite mangas as a kid. It's stupid. It's just about friendship, and it's so sweet, and we love that. She plays Maria Ross in Full Metal Alchemist, not Brotherhood, the original Full Metal Alchemist. Natsu Sagad and Loveless, and Link in all of the DS Zelda games.
Huh.
And that's all I got for this episode.
R.I.P. DS.
R.I.P. Right?
Some fun facts, because I'm going to do those this week. I'm just shout out to Ouran High School Wiki on fandom.com. So all the boys, apart from Mori, dress up as girls in the anime, but only Hikaru, Kaori, and Honey cross-dress in the manga, with Tamaki and Kyoya. Kaoru. Sorry, they spell it.
Kaori is from your
wrong one. Yeah, Kaoru. They spell it different than I spell it.
They do.
Well, Kaoru and Honey cross-dress in the manga, and Tamaki and Kyoya wearing outfits like Mori's. Um, the reason, uh, the reason why Haruhi left the club in her bitter mood in the manga is because she had to go to the supermarket. It's not said in the anime.
She had to go buy more pitzels.
Yeah. In the manga, the reason why the Zuka Club is at Ouran Academy is unknown, but they get into the school by wearing their uniform, so they sneak in. There's not some competition. And in the manga, Hinako spills coffee on Tamaki rather than Tamaki accidentally dipping his finger in the cup. Haruhi doesn't bandage his finger up in the manga either, so thanks for that.
She's a lot beater. Well, they had to cram a lot more emotional bonding into this because it's only like one season.
That's true.
And it is made to be a standalone season. Like, it doesn't end, but it does. Does that make sense?
No.
Well, there's like not an ending, but there is an ending. It is very disappointing. That's okay. I have the manga. You're gonna read it. It's fine. Yeah, but Haruhi's a lot meaner to Tamaki.
There's no,
but she also has a lot more conflicted feelings. No trivia?
There's no trivia for the next 2 episodes. Oh no. Is that the only episode with trivia? No, there's there's one trivia, and it's not even trivia. It's just about breaking the fourth wall. So that's it. That's all your trivia for the day, folks.
Thanks for the fun facts.
You're welcome.
Here's episode 10's Netflix summary: A Day in the Life of the Fujioka Family. Tamaki and the boys check out Haruhi's apartment. It's a tight fit, but there's plenty of room for the kind of trouble that follows the hosts around.
Okay, this is like the sweetest episode, though.
Isn't it, though?
I love it.
Isn't it so good? And before we go on, I just have to tell Tamaki that HEB sushi is really good. Okay?
Yeah, like
you don't even know. What a brat. Like, him writing that note, like, just because the package says it's fancy doesn't mean that it's fancy tuna. I was like, Tamaki, shut up. Shut up.
That's funny.
It's great. I would love to give you HEB sushi and watch you just be like, wow, that was great.
Lauren, you've joined the cult.
I did. I had to. I was poor. I was poor and it was a time of sickness.
So you're like in the Fujioka family?
I only have bowls to drink out of.
Oh my gosh.
And I just want
episode begins with Tamaki and the rest of the hosts standing in front of a ramshackle dwelling that appears to be the Fujioka home.
Hey.
They're horrified.
Excuse you?
Noises.
Excuse you, animals? Nothing is happening. Hey. I know I don't sound like me, but you still have to listen to me. Come here.
Was that Hootie that made the noise?
It's always Hootie. No, Steve makes the weird noises. Hootie barks. Hootie borks.
Hootie goes,
say hello. He's stressed.
Hootie patootie, I can't see you.
Come here.
Oh my gosh! Right into the microphone. I was terrified because I couldn't see him. Okay, Lauren's gonna wrangle dogs. All right, here we go. So they're horrified to see that Haruhi lives in squalor, and famished Haruhi looks exactly like famished Levi from not Full Metal Alchemist, from Attack on Titan. And the last straw is when Haruhi eats what she thinks is fancy tuna, but Tamaki knows it's not. And she's like, we've saved it just for you. And then Tamaki suddenly wakes up and realizes it's a nightmare. Tamaki is seen in his little Ouran blazer rapidly descending the stairs, and he goes, I've got to get to school so I can find out if this nightmare is even remotely true. But the chief of staff of the mansion greets him and says, you can't leave because you're still wearing pajama bottoms and your house slippers. So he rushes to change and tells him, I've got to call my best friend and Kyoya. And is like, is this true? So next scene is they're all Haruhi's returning from the supermarket, happy with the sales that she got. Same girl. When those HEB yellow coupons are there, those meal deals, praise.
We're getting rid of those coupons. It's all going digital, just so you know.
I hate the digital ones. They never scan right. The boopy. Hootie patootie. Oh, sweet hoots.
He's really upset.
I see in his face. He always looks like he has lipstick on.
He does. He also has little freckles under the side.
Oh, sweet baby. I love the TikTok where they're like, vape? No, it's Chihuahua. And it's like the Chihuahua ears. Have you seen that? Okay, here we go. So Haruhi's all happy that she got all these sales, but then she's like, why are all these cars in front of it? What's happening? And then she realizes they're all luxury automotives, and she's like, oh no. She realizes the host club is at her house. And they're like, Haruhi lives in a nice place. Look how big it is. And Kyoya has to explain that Haruhi only lives in one of these little houses. This is an apartment complex because they're idiots. She says, y'all gotta go. And they're like, no. So Haruhi's neighbor steps in and is like, is everything okay? And of course Tamaki steps in and charms the woman, and she's like, I'll bring snacks over later, which is absolutely me. Then Honey reveals that he brought pastries, and Haruhi's like, no, I mean, I guess you can come in for just a little bit and I'll make some tea. So they all squeeze in there with some fuss. And Tamaki's like telling him, don't say anything that will insult her. Don't say anything commoner or anything. And like the twins, of course, just listen because they're idiots. But it's just like when you make things worse because you're trying to be overly protective, it's horrible. So Honey offers Haruhi the first choice of the pastries because Honey's the sweetest, and she chooses strawberry. And then Mori says, I see that you like strawberry. Here, you can have the strawberries off my cake.
Did you die?
So sweet. I love him. And everybody's like, why didn't I think of that? It was great. So Tamaki is like, I've been one-upped. So lunchtime comes and Kyoya's like, hey, I'll buy lunch since we kind of crashed here unannounced. She's like, no, because it's just going to count against me. He goes, we'll just use the funds that we did of selling pictures of you. And she's like, what? Oh my gosh.
Fighting me.
So Jesus. She's like, oh, so I would be paying for it after all. So she's like, no, Honey's like, can you make us something? Because Honey's just the sweetest and is like, let's just have a quaint little meal. So she's like, I will make something. We need to go get something. So as they're going to leave, Haruhi's like, Tamaki, are you coming? And then she turns and sees that he's at the shrine of her mom, because that's what you do. And he's paying respects to her mom, and he's like, your mom's really pretty. And they talk about, she's like, I'm not a good judge of pretty or not, but she was really smart. And he goes, oh, I can tell that she's smart. And
I can't hear anything you just said.
It's a little moment, and I love it. And so
this is also the episode where we find out that Haruhi's mom was a lawyer.
Yeah, you find out her mom's a lawyer, and it's just, and Tamaki goes, I can tell she was a really good lawyer because he's French. And so, despite feeling around for a spot to place his supporting hand, Tamaki slips out of nowhere on a banana peel.
Yep. We're gay.
I could picture her like, she's like the snail in Adventure Time, like where she's in every episode, but you just have to find her.
The snail in Adventure Time is evil, though.
Yeah, it's a lich. But, is Renge a lich? We don't know.
Tune in next week to find out.
So, Tamaki slips and stumbles onto Haruhi, like the classic move where the boy falls on the girl, and the girl says, don't turn green. Just kidding. That's just Joss Whedon in Avengers. So at that moment, Haruhi's father opens the door and sees what appears to be a strange boy pinning down his daughter. And he walks over and flings Tamaki into the wall. And I love the way anime draws this. You just hear like the thud, and he comes over and is like, "Oh, my darling, are you okay?" And she's just like, "That sounded really cool." And like in the background, like Tamaki's just melted against the wall, like shattered. We see that Haruhi's father is actually a trans woman. I don't know if the wording they use is very dated wording in this episode. We don't call people transvestites. When I hear the word transvestite, I think of Rocky Horror Picture Show's Sweet Transvestite, which I doubt.
I looked this up. She's Harvey's father is just a crossdresser. So I don't know if I'm about to start reading the manga, so I'll let you know what they say in that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
that's
assume,
a weird translation.
because you see him as a male in a liquor store working, and now he works at a bar, and I think he's a drag queen.
But he also he grew out his hair. That's kind of the only thing
Oh, that's
with
his
him.
hair?
But like, yeah, that's his hair. And in his like his time, he doesn't wear makeup, I don't think.
He
But
wears
I
lipstick.
honestly just don't know.
Yeah.
I need to know
Because
more.
they refer to him as a him,
Yeah.
and his pronouns were him in the episode.
And Harvey does call him father.
But that's a little different, because if someone
Yeah.
transitions, then they're still your dad, you know.
Eh,
I don't have a lot of experience in that,
I
but
don't either.
all I know is the Jenners, and they still call Caitlyn dad.
Oh, cool.
But they use the she her pronouns for her, but they call her dad.
But she's still dad.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
you know, pronouns.
Pronouns are
So
important.
I will refer to
God.
Haruhi's dad as a him, just because that's what the episode refers to him as. But I don't know. So Ryuji, aka Ranka,
Huh?
Ranka.
Oh. Wait, what?
Ryuji, Ranka. She goes, "My name
Oh,
is Ryuji,
Ronka.
but I go by Ranka, my
It is
professional name."
Ronka.
Ranka. Okay, so
Sorry, I was confused. I was like, you literally just said his name. It's Ryuji.
and then she goes, "You can call me Ranka."
Stop.
So Ranka asks Haruhi if she can make him a cup of tea, and Tamaki springs into action, trying to, make a better impression, because that was a horrible first impression. And the twins pop in and realize who that was and introduce themselves to him, and while simultaneously calling Tamaki a ladies' man, and he's probably slept with all these women, and he's like, "No," and it's beautiful. So, oh my god, all of a sudden, there's not a Hootie, and then all of a sudden there was a Hootie face very close to the
If
screen.
he's here, I'm holding on to him so he doesn't run to the door and start screaming. Please excuse him. He's a very special boy.
With lipstick. Sweet lippies. It's just you're just that's terrifying, Lauren. If you're just listening, the poor Hootie, the dog, keeps disappearing in and out of this virtual background, and it's kind of terrifying. Or it just looks like Lauren's gripping the air. Oh, Hootie. So Ronka realizes the boys are none other than the host club that his daughters only briefly mentioned, but he knows who everyone is, knows them by their looks, and my brain farted. Haruhi's like, "Why do you know everyone? I haven't told you all this," and then realizes that her dad has been calling Kiyoya and talking on the phone with Kiyoya and learning all about them. But Kiyoya does notice that Haruhi has talked a little bit about Host Club because he knows stuff about Tamaki. So Haruhi talks about Tamaki on the phone to her dad.
Yeah, because she loves him.
That's right. So Ronka's mad. I mean, not Ronka. Haruhi's mad and is like, I'm going to the grocery store. Nobody follow me. And she goes. After she leaves, her dad says, you know, Haruhi's always been independent, even as a little girl. And we have this really sad flashback at age 7 where she didn't tell her dad about like parent teacher night. And she goes, I didn't want you there. So he thought she was ashamed of him being trans. And yes, I did hear that. The weird guttural noises from your dog. And so
the podcast too.
He thought that she was embarrassed by him, but she wasn't. She just wanted him to sleep on his day off.
So
she knows
sweet
that he works so hard. She didn't want to be a burden and have him come to school on his one day off. Crying, he's sad, and oh, it's so sweet. But so Ronka now is like, hey, we're gonna play this new game called We're Gonna Go Stalk My Daughter. And so they go to the grocery store and they are following her around. And he goes, well, actually, I just wanted a bunch of cute boys to be seen with me. And it works. They're like, oh, who are they? But they're following her around, and you see another little flashback of her dad has been doing this for a long time because she's so independent, and she busts him and goes, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, oh, you know, I just wanted to hold your cart because you know how much I love my accessories. Here, give it to your dear old dad. And then this whole thing is happening, and Tamaki gets stuck in the same situation. She sees Tamaki, and he's like, oh, you know, I just wanted to hold your cart because, you know, I love accessories. You give it to your dear old dad. And she's like, you're so weird. And then laughs.
Which is her way of saying that she loves you. It's her Robin thing. Because Robin always says, you're an idiot. And Harvey says, you're weird.
It's adorable. Sweet. And so it's like, if I hit you, I love you. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But
it freaking hurts.
So sorry, man.
Hard.
I'm so sorry. I don't know my own strength. But I love you.
I know.
I love you. I don't know how to deal with that. So they end up having a sweet conversation, and Haruhi's dad's like, well, one day she's going to fall in love, and she's going to want to spend that time with someone, and I'm going to have to get used to it. And then she goes, but not today. It's great. And you watch like the rest of the host club just be so like just obsessed with what this grocery store is, and it's wonderful because I just pictured it as HEB. And then Tamaki's like, why don't we do like a stew pot, except for it's a little hot for that. But he goes, but no chrysanthemum, like, which is really funny because like that's a rich thing. Apparently I looked that up. So it ends with all of them doing a stew pot at the end, and Haruhi's dad is like, here, Tamaki, eat this chrysanthemum, because he's still like, stay away from my daughter. But it's just a sweet moment, and they have like it's touching, like they know all about Haruhi now, and they've accepted her, and she has let someone into her world because she doesn't like to rely on people. She's super independent. She doesn't want to ask for that. And she wants to help others rather than have help herself. And I felt very attacked in this episode. And that's it. And I feel very attacked. And that is the end.
We only have 2 voice actors. We have Meisato Shiba, or Shiba Meisato, who is Haruhi's keeper. She's like the head maid of his house. And I love her. Her English voice actor is Julie Erickson, who also plays Recovery Girl in My Hero Academia.
Same character.
And Penako Rockbell in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Japanese voice actor
also same character.
Yusuko Hattori. I put meh, so they must not have done nothing. And then we have Ranka Fujioka. Their English voice actor is Mike McFarland, who plays Jean in Attack on Titan.
That's fine.
Black the Brunette in Ranking of Kings, Mashiro Ojiro in My Hero Academia, and Master Roshi in
Who
Dragon
in
Ball
My
Z.
Hero?
Ojiro, he's the tail man. He's got the tail.
Okay. That's why I don't
With the
know.
weird flesh
But
tail that I hate.
Sean, stupid Sean.
I think Ojiro's tail is just the twin that he consumed at birth.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And then Japanese voice actor is Takahito Kyoyashu, and I only put one on here because that's all that mattered to me. He plays Dio Brando in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was true. If I like it, and if you want to know more, go listen to the first episode of JoJo. I go over all of them, and
Go.
I don't have like a nose lisp. What do you call
What
a
if you
stuffy nose
did have a kind of
accent?
infection? It's sinus infection. It just sounds like
No, but like
muffled. Muffled.
Okay, I'm not muffled. There you go. Thank you. That is the word that I required. Episode 11. Big Brother is a Prince. Here's
This
your
episode
Netflix
was just
summary
bad to me.
Yeah, I don't love this episode. It's very boring. I took no notes. And I only got one voice actor, even though there are three. I was like, I don't really care about these other people. They don't come back.
Only one matters.
Yeah. So Nekozawa is sensitive to light, and his kid sister is afraid of the dark. To bring them together, Renge sets out to turn Nekozawa into a dreamy prince.
That is the whole episode, by the way.
That's literally it. We don't even have to summarize it if you want to. That's like
here we go. I'm
it.
just gonna speed through it. All right, here we go. There's a little blonde girl. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna find my big brother. My big brother's a prince," because she gets all these fairy tales read to her. So she goes in there and she's like, "Oh," and they're all calling her kitty cat, and she's like, "It's her," and they're like, "Whoa, why does she know what that word is? What is happening?" So they find it difficult to believe such a young girl knows that, and they're like, "What is happening?" And then she looks at Tamaki and is like, "My brother's blonde. You must be my brother because you're blonde." And then runs and hugs him. The girl's name is Kirimi.
Tamaki would be such a good big brother. My
yes.
God.
Okay. Boy. Lord, we're speeding.
I'm sorry. I just
girl's name is Kirimi, which is like chopped meat, not chopped sushi. Tamaki tries to correct her mistaken impression, but then they're like, "Oh," and so they're like, "We got to figure out if you have a brother at Ouran." And then Nekozawa, no, doors open and there's this blonde man. And they're like, "You forgot your cloak." And then they wrap him in this dark cloak and put this wig on. They're like, "Nekozawa," and it's Nekozawa. Nekozawa is her brother, but there's this rare disease in their family because maybe they're from the Romanovs. We don't know. But basically he's very sensitive to light, so he has to wear a cloak and a wig and has a curse doll. Who knows? But he's so drawn to the darkness, and she's scared of the darkness. So, but I was born of the darkness. I said it so many times. I was like, "Well, here it goes, Bane." Anyway,
have you watched Harley Quinn, the cartoon?
No, but I've heard it's great.
You need to. We'll talk about it after.
Okay. But I need to watch it before HBO maybe deletes it.
Yeah, you really need to get on it.
Bro, they deleted 200 more things today.
They deleted a show that I will now never get to watch. It's called Infinity Train. I watched the first season. I was halfway through the second season, and they got rid of it. And because of the publishing house that was doing it is so small, they don't have the rights to publish it on their own, so now it can't go anywhere. The only way to watch it is to illegally stream it, and that makes me so angry.
Funimation will find it. We'll figure it out. Okay, so the twins try it's basically she's afraid of him, and they're all like, "We're gonna help you." They try to remove the cloak, but he's afraid of light, and so then Honey tries to darken the room, but he's afraid of the dark. So they are like, "We gotta get Kirimi, I don't know, Kirimi, that was it, back home." So they're like, "We need someone who can help teach him how to be in the light." And they're like, "You know what? This calls for one person, Renge." And here she comes. She's gonna teach him how to be trained to be in the light and be a prince. So he could have no talk of the occult, which he's like, "But I only know the occult." She's like, "No, that's scary." So they're retraining him. And basically they're like, "Hey, shine this flashlight on your face." They bring Kirimi back in and shines a flashlight on his face. Absolutely terrifies her. She runs away crying. They're like, "Well, I guess that didn't work." But then when she's running out, they see that when they're looking out the window. She's standing out there in the yard with like this cat, and they're like, man, this family's obsessed with cats because cursed cat dog, but cat book, whatever. And he's like, no, she would never do that. And he runs out there. She's terrified. The cat's like hissed at her. She's scared. She's like, someone help me. And he runs and saves her. And she's like, he forgot to put on his wig and his cloak. And she's like, big brother. And he saves her. And she's like, oh, you are my big brother. He goes back inside and has to go back in the dark because he's sensitive. I think he's fire. And then he runs in, and then she's like, oh, so you are my big brother. And then guess what? They love each other in the end. Nekazawa is now dark, but Kirimi knows that her big brother's going to protect her, and he's a little spooky and weird because we all are like that a little bit. And
I really
that's the episode.
Did not appreciate the relationship between brother and sister. This felt really creepy. Also, really hate that the comparison they made was for Romeo and Juliet, their siblings. That's disgusting.
Well, did you maybe the sub didn't say it, but Haruhi goes, that's a different
no, they say it, but it's still awful, and I still hate it. Because she was like, yeah, I made it up just right now. But she pulls out like a banner. Like, see? I made it up. And I'm like, no, stop. So yeah, I didn't really care about the maid and the butlers, so I didn't write down their names.
You just need the sister, Kirimi.
But Kirimi Nikozawa, Kirimi, you were right the first time.
Oh, okay.
Her English voice actor is Jeremy Lay. And she plays Kotaro Sato in Kotaro Lives Alone. Makoto Nijima in Persona 5. Chef's kiss. She was my girlfriend the first time I played it. Totally worth it. Everyone date Makoto. She's great.
Oh.
And Michiru Kagemori in B&A, which is Brand New Animal. She's a main character. Japanese voice actor is Kurumi, and it's so close to Kirimi. Maybe that's why they gave them the job. Kurumi Miyama.
Kirimi.
They had nothing, so I put meh. And here is the summary for episode 12. That one. When Mori makes honey go sugar-free after he gets a cavity, it doesn't take long for the littlest
vampire.
What? To turn against the littlest host to turn against his friend. I wrote hist instead.
Oh,
and because I'm beta drilled up, I was like, what is hist? List? What is the list?
Oh, Lauren.
I don't know, man.
All right, here we go.
I'm sorry.
I totally skipped the first half of the episode because this is like a 2-for episode. Gosh, my eyes got really red after I yawned. Episode begins with Tamaki ranting at the twins for spilling tea on Usa-chan, aka Honey's beloved stuffed bunny. Everybody's refusing to take blame. They were like, it only happened because Haruhi was running away from us while we were chasing her. And it's Tamaki's tea that was spilled, and they're all like, well, you better, Kyo's like, you better figure it out. He says, since there's no guest, you can make a racket, but do you really want to wake up Honey, who's napping, and then see that you got Usa-chan all dirty? So they're all scared. They start telling these stories about how Honey wakes up in a very foul mood. And one day on the U.S. military base, a big general came to wake up Honey, and the face that Honey makes at him, which we never get to see, terrified him so much. And now there's no U.S.-Japanese relations. It was a funny story. And so the doll it was made by Honey's late grandmother, making it his prized possession. As Honey starts to wake, because they've all accidentally woken up Honey, they're all screaming and they're like, oh no, and then they're like, Haruhi's like, you're exaggerating, and they're like, his blood type's AB, it's the same as Kiyoya's, and they're like, she's like, so what is AB? And then as soon as they said it's the same as Kiyoya's, she's like, oh no, and then she breaks the fourth wall to go, anybody with AB blood type, please don't be offended by this episode.
I love that because they share a blood type, Honey is now capable of great evil.
Yeah.
Just makes sense.
So Tamaki calls for the twins to use their parents' private jet to go to Mount Osore and bring back a medium so they could channel Honey's grandmother to make a new Usa-chan. And they can't do that. And the twins say there's no time. They got to get Haruhi into a full bunny suit, full body bunny suit. Haruhi refuses. She says Tamaki has to wear it. And then they're all yelling. And then Honey wakes up. And so Honey looks at them and they're all terrified. And so Tamaki's like, use Kuma-chan as a replacement, which is his teddy bear. And she's like, I don't want this, and slams him on the ground. And then she sees the bunny and knows that Usa-chan is dirty. And Honey, sees that the bear is dirty. And he's like, who did this? And then Mori just goes, Honey wanted tea. So he got it all over him because he was trying to drink it. And she's like, oh. And he's like, oh, that's why his face is covered in tea. And he's like, yes. And it looks over and all of them were like, is that all it took? And then Honey goes, do you think you want some cake too? And the sweet little Honey face. And they're like, what? And so that's all that happened. Mori fixed it. But then part 2. As the club's daily business ensues, Honey's surrounded by his guests who ask like what kind of chocolate he likes best, and they keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. And then Renge is heard as a voiceover giving a brief bio of the eldest host until she's seen standing beside Haruhi and Tamaki with a microphone. She has a microphone this whole episode, describing Honey's charms and catchphrases. She says loudly that she doesn't quite believe that his little lowly boy image. There's something missing in his character arc. Haruhi warns him that if he keeps eating all the sweets, he's gonna get a cavity. And as soon as he says that, she says that. Gosh, I'm all over the place. As soon as she says that, Honey's like, and while eating sweets, and you can see that his cheek is all red. And she's like, "Is it a cavity?" He's like, "No, it's fine." But then Haruhi and the twins try to get him to open his mouth, and he resists until Mori comes in and just like manhandles him onto the couch and like pries his mouth open and looks and like, yep, there it is. It's a cavity. The girls squeal at what they call Mori, aka being emotionally worked up or describing something that evokes said state. That's the nickname they give Mori. Mori.
I thought they were talking about Mori and Honey, and it was like their ship name. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Well, that's
because
not what the fandom page said.
Lose it whenever that happens. I thought it was a ship name the entire time.
No. In context of Japanese pop culture, the quality in which a fictional female character being youthfully innocent and vulnerable in an idealized way is perceived as eliciting feelings of affection or protectiveness.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was their ship name. Mori and Honey, Moe. Made sense to me.
It's a Japanese pop culture thing. So Honey goes on insisting that he's fine, and they're like, no. But his tooth is depicted as being stabbed by two devils with a pitchfork. So Mori turns to Tamaki, who understands the situation at once, and tells the club all sweets are banned in sympathy of Honey not being able to have sweets because Honey has a cavity, which is very selfless of them.
Yeah, nice.
So Mori demands Honey's school bag, even though Honey says he can carry it just fine, and he says hand it over. And he dumps out a bag full of sweets, and then gives his friend a menu of sweets to pursue instead. He gives him substitute sweets. I don't remember that. Hikaru and Karu. Gosh, man, that's the way they spell it's really throwing me off. Karu, now I lost where I was. Oh, so are surprised that Mori's being so strict and kind of tough on Honey, and Haruhi feels terrible. Tamaki manages to play the prince, even without the sweets, and Kyoya is unaccountably cheery. Everything at Host Club is off because Honey is off, and Honey can't have the honey. So Mori remains silent, and there's this girl, and she's confessing her love to him, and he's saying nothing back, and she's like, is there someone else? And she's like, oh, there is. And then she leaves. Haruhi overhears everything and is like, what is happening? Why didn't he say anything? So on the third day, Honey is in a horrible mood, and it's throwing Kuma-chan to the floor when he finds it inside the empty sweets cabinet, falling to the floor on his face, and then Tamaki's like trying to reach out and like pet him and be like, he's okay. And then he just like clamps down on his hand like a shark, and they draw like shark teeth on him, and it's great. Mori is, so Mori intervenes, and then Honey loses it and starts throwing the taller and heavier host to the ground and calls him a hardhead, saying he hates him, and runs off. And Tamaki, the sweet little dad Tamaki, runs off chasing after him. Mori's just like stunned and sitting there on the ground, and the twins are trying to console him, but Haruhi realizes that Mori's been so harsh because he feels guilty. He says, I'm the reason that Honey did this, like, let this happen. I let this happen. And he's being strict to punish himself because he wanted Honey to like say he hated him because that's how he feels about himself right now. And Mori admits that it's true. He's guilty because he forgot to make Honey brush his teeth twice, so a cavity has appeared. Tamaki reappears with Honey, who's overheard everything, and rushes to Mori and throws himself at his cousin and promises he'll always brush his teeth and that he doesn't need to feel guilty about this. And it's not his fault. A few days later, the prohibition on sweets has been lifted, and Honey goes back to stuffing his face with cake. The girl from the courtyard appears in the salon to tell Mori it's okay if she's not his object of affection, though she's surprised that it was Honey that is his like object of affection. But she says, it's okay though, but I still like you. Renge congratulates the girl on broadening horizons, and all the fangirls cry out, Mori! And Haruhi's response is a resigned, good grief. And that is the episode.
Is it? I got nothing. I got no voice actors. I got no fun facts.
Well,
the end.
That's it. That's it, everybody.
That's all.
Next week, we're going to watch episodes 13, 14, 15, and 16. Episode 13 is called Haruhi in Wonderland.
This is a whole load of really great episodes. So,
I'm excited.
Like, first one, sad. Second one,
Episode
good background.
14, covering the famous host club.
Good background. You learn a little more about Tamaki. And then 15 and 16 are great.
Episode 15 is the refreshing battle in Kurizawa. And then episode 16 is Operation Haruhi and Hikaru's first date. No!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Well, you're getting it.
I don't want this.
Just wait. I'm very excited for you to watch it.
This?
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter.
Oh, we're on each other.
It's good. It's some good stuff.
This?
It's great. It's okay. You still get some good Tamaki in that episode.
I want this. I don't want this. I don't want this.
Doesn't matter.
Lauren, I don't want this.
Well, you got it, baby.
Lauren, I don't want this.
I know.
What are the other episode titles? Do I get Hope back?
No.
Lobelia comes back? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they do. I hate Lobelia.
The door of the twins opened. What else we got? Until the day it becomes a pumpkin. Oh, is there another fairy tale story? I love this. Mori Senpai has an apprentice candidate. Oh, who is this? They're kind of hot. Okay. 23. Tamaki's unwitting depression. No, my boy. This other guy looks like he's staying in. And so Kiyoya met him. What? Who's him?
It's Tamaki.
Look at him. It's a flashback. Aww.
It is.
The host club declares dissolution. No! What? That's the second to last episode.
Yeah.
Dissolve?
Yep.
This is our Ouran fair. And that's all we get?
Yeah, that's it.
Does it end at least with a nice conclusion? Who's this girl leaning on Tamaki in this photo?
I don't want to talk about Eclair because I hate her. But her name is Eclair.
Asking if Haruhi is Tamaki's lover. Excuse me? And Haruhi says no. Good, then you're nothing to...
Yeah. Stop it! Stop reading it!
Who is this?
Stop reading it.
I'm so mad.
Stop it.
I'm not gonna stop. I need to know.
Bridget,
I need to know.
he obviously.
Oh,
Child.
everybody dances with Haruhi. Releases her, and then Kyoya releases her to his best friend.
Oh my god, everybody stop reading it to the audience. They have to watch it, Bridget.
Okay. Okay, that's all I needed. I can live with that. Archive of Our Own will get me through the rest of that.
I'm telling you, read the manga. It has an ending.
I need to. But I'm not gonna spend money until after I go to Disney.
I respect.
I gotta save money for that. I gotta order food.
Respect.
All right. Well,
that's it, everybody.
That's
we
it.
love
Hey,
anime.
and we like Patreon people. We'll watch Naruto eventually. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's been crazy.
We did. I read it. If you want a synopsis of it,
not up, Lauren.
It's great.
All right, we love anime. My turn.
We love you.
Bye. Bye. How do I stop recording?
Thank you for watching Gateway Anime Podcast with Bridget and Lauren. Please remember to like, subscribe, and download our episodes. Remember, we also have a Patreon, so if you want to suggest shows for us to watch, make sure you go visit us. Special thank you to Marjorie McClendon for our artwork and designs, and Drew Griffith for all of our music. We hope to see you again next week.